Yeah? So I'll go straight to the class because we have a large topic to cover. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's teachings are vast. And so I decided, like yesterday, we discussed briefly about who is Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu and why did he come to this material nature. And today we'll go to his teachings. I will first, today I'll deal with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's teachings to Sārvabhauma Bhaṭṭācārya, his encounter with Sārvabhauma Bhaṭṭācārya. Tomorrow we will discuss about Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's teachings to, briefly, very briefly I'll discuss about his teachings to Rupa Goswami and Sanatana Goswami. And on the third day, day after tomorrow, I'll discuss about Śrī Caitanya Mahaprabhu's meeting with Ramananda Roy and his discussion with Ramananda Roy. I think basically that will cover the basic outline of Śrī Caitanya Mahaprabhu's teachings. So, Śrī Caitanya Mahaprabhu was an extremely brilliant personality. And he came to distribute Krishna Prem. So that mission he started after he got initiated by Srila Ishwar Puri. He went to Gaya to perform the Shraddha of his father, and there he met Ishwar Puri. Prior to that, he met Ishwar Puri in Navadvip when Ishwar Puri came to Navadvip, and then they developed a very sweet relationship. Ishwar Puri had displayed a lot of affection to Śrī Caitanya Mahaprabhu. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was a kind of a young boy at that time, and then when he met Ishwar Puri again in Gaya, then he begged Ishwar Puri to give him initiation. And when he got initiated, his mood completely changed. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mood was very different prior to that. As a child, as a little boy, he was very naughty. And then when he grew up, he was very proud and very handsome young man, very proud of his scholarship. He defeated Keshav Kashmiri when he was just 16 years old. Keshav Kashmiri defeated all the scholars of India. From Kashmir, from North India, he started his exploit, and he went all over India. The last place that he had to conquer was Navadvip. And there Śrī Caitanya Mahaprabhu defeated him. And the way Chaitanya Mahaprabhu used to defeat was very unique. He did not defeat them and in order to embarrass them. Like while he defeated them, he also glorified them. So this was Keshav Kashmiri's, his encounter with Keshav Kashmiri was one such example. He defeated him very casually. Keshav Kashmiri was so proud of his scholarship. He was such a great scholar that although Navadvip was the seat for scholarship at that time, the scholars of Navadvip was afraid to come and face him. They were either hiding in their house, not coming out, or they ran away from Navadvip under various pretexts, just to avoid meeting with him, facing him in a challenge. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the way he defeated him very casually, he asked him, oh, it's such a good fortune that I came across a scholar like you. I heard so much about your glory. And so can you please describe the glory of Ganges? And Keshav Kashmiri was such a brilliant scholar that right there, he composed one after another shlokas glorifying Mother Ganges. And then after that, when he asked Chaitanya Mahaprabhu how he liked it, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's thing was, oh, it's brilliant, excepting a few defects here and there. So his response was that in my composition, there is no fault. What do you understand of poetry that you're going to find faults in my composition? Then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu recited one verse out of that 100 verses that he composed and spoke, composed and recited just like the flow of Ganges. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu just quoted one verse, and in one verse he pointed out 5 defects, and also he pointed out 5 ornaments. In one hand, he pointed out 5 defects, and at the same time, he also pointed out 5 ornaments. And then Keshav Kashmiri was defeated, and he asked him, how I have recited these poems like a storm, and how could you remember this verse? And Mahaprabhu's humble response was, just as by the blessing of the Lord, somebody becomes a great scholar, similarly, somebody can also remember everything. Just as one can become a great poet, one can also become a Shrutidhar. Just as one can be a Kobibor, one can also be a Shrutidhar. Shrutidhar means he just hears and remembers. So this is how he defeated Keshav Kashmiri. And when his students were laughing at Keshav Kashmiri, Mahaprabhu stopped them. He said, no, don't embarrass such a great personality. The defects are there in composition of great poets like Jayadev and Bilamangal Thakur. So this is how Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu kind of defeated Keshav Kashmiri. And in a way, we can see that at the age of 16, he was the greatest scholar of India. Of course, if we recognize who he is, then there is no problem in understanding that he's the Supreme Personality of Godhead. But those who do not recognize him as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, they can actually see what a brilliant personality he was. So now at the age of 24, Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu took sannyas, and he went to Jagannātha Purī. Like generally sannyasis, when they take sannyas, they just leave home and go away forever. They're just lost forever. Nobody can ever find them. Nobody can ever meet them once they take sannyas. But Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu took sannyas, but he decided to stay in Jagannātha Purī. That's also another very wonderful incident. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, right after taking sannyas in Katwa, on the bank of the Ganges, he was running. He ran towards Vrindavan. He traveled, he ran non-stop for 3 days and 3 nights. And along with him, his other companions, Nityananda Prabhu, Chandrasekhar, and Mukunda, they're also running with him. This way we can see how dedicated these followers of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu were. And Nityananda Prabhu tricked Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and instead of taking him, letting him go to Vrindavan, he, from North India, called Rardesh, he brought him back to Navadvip, back to that area. Navadvip area. Like the way to go was go to North India, then go to Bihar, and then from Bihar, you go to UP, 2 days UP, and then Vrindavan. But from North India, he brought him back to Navadvip, and he tricked him with the help of some local cowherd boys. Nityananda Prabhu told them that when this person will ask you whether this is Vrindavan, you tell them, yes, yes, this is Vrindavan. And anyway, so this cow, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu saw the cows, the cowherd boys, and the recollections of Vrindavan came to his mind, and he asked them, is it Vrindavan? And the cows, as they were taught by Nityananda Prabhu, said, yes, yes, this is Vrindavan. Mahaprabhu was ecstatic. Now he has arrived in Vrindavan, and he saw Ganga, and he thought it was Jamuna, and he jumped into the river. In the meantime, Advaitacharya came with some in a boat, and then Mahaprabhu realized that he has been tricked by Nityananda Prabhu. Anyway, so Nityananda Prabhu actually did that because he knew how the residents of Navadvip must be feeling due to his separation. So Nityananda Prabhu decided to bring him back so that everybody can see him once again. And so he already sent the message to Navadvip, Mayapur, that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came to Shantipur in the house of Advaitacharya. And along with all the other residents of Mayapur, Sachimata also came. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu displayed a deep repentance, regret that he took sannyas, leaving his old mother behind, totally unprotected. So this is the unique aspect of Mahaprabhu's sannyas, that he left behind a young wife. She was about 16, 17 years old at that time. And he also left his old mother. She must have been over 60 years old at that time. And there was no one, no male member to take care of them. In that situation, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu took sannyas. In that respect, Prabhupada pointed out that by taking sannyas in this way, Śrī Caitanya Mahaprabhu actually taught the world that if for the sake of Krishna you have to leave everything behind, don't worry, Krishna will take care of them. Like what can be a more critical situation than leaving a young wife and an old mother at home without any other member in the family? What to speak of male member? There was not even a single female member in the family to take care of them. So, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was repenting. Oh, I made a mistake. I'll give up my sannyas and I'll take care of you. Because you're my mother, it's because of you I am here. I have an inconceivable debt towards you, so I'm prepared to give up everything. But Sachimata, as an ideal mother, she advised, no, don't do that. You have accepted sannyas, remain a sannyasi. Otherwise, the whole world will laugh at you, calling you a bantasi. A sannyasi, when he gives up his sannyas order, is called a bantasi, means vomit eater, one who eats his own vomit. Anyway, so, and then Chaitanya, finally, there was one condition that Sachimata herself suggested, that you stay near somewhere where I can at least get to hear about your welfare, well-being. And it was decided, she only suggested that why don't you go to Jagannātha Purī and stay there. And people come from Jagannātha Purī to Bengal, and people from Bengal go to Jagannātha Purī, and through them I'll get your informations. And that's why Chaitanya Mahaprabhu decided to go to Jagannātha Purī. And when he went to Jagannātha Purī, he was he did not go along, take his other companions along with him. He just went alone. And that also was another, another incident. Mahaprabhu had a very, very wonderful relationship with Nityananda Prabhu. Like Nityananda Prabhu misdirected him, and instead of taking him to Vrindavan, brought him back to Mayapur, or brought him back to Shantipur. And on the way to Jagannātha Purī also, he broke the danda, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's sannyas danda. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu went to take a bath in the river, and he gave the danda to Mukunda, and Nityananda Prabhu took the danda, and he had a little conversation with the danda. Mr. Danda, who do you think you are? The Supreme Personality of Godhead is going to carry you as a token of punishment. I cannot tolerate that. Saying that, he just broke the danda and threw it in the river. And in that respect also, our acharyas gave a very nice analogy or reason behind that, saying that apparently Chaitanya Mahaprabhu took ekadanda sannyas. By breaking the danda, Sri Nityananda Prabhu actually pointed out that Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu actually took 3 danda sannyas. Ekadanda sannyas is Māyāvādī sannyas, and 3 danda sannyas is a devotee sannyas. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu actually took devotee sannyas. So when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came out of the river after taking the bath, and he asked, where is the danda? Then Mukunda told him what actually happened. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu became so upset. He said that I was going to Vrindavan and you misdirected me and brought me to Shantipur. Now my only possession, my sannyas danda, you broke that also and took it away. I don't want to be with you all. Saying that, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu just ran towards Jagannātha Purī alone. And when he came to Jagannātha Purī, he fainted seeing Lord Jagannath. And this is Mahaprabhu's love for Krishna. Apparently, when you see Lord Jagannath, apparently it seems like, an incomplete form. And, like the hands are incomplete, there's no legs and so forth. But what was Chaitanya Mahaprabhu seeing in Lord Jagannath? That not only tears were flowing from his eyes incessantly, but he fainted. And when he fainted, fortunately Sārvabhauma Bhaṭṭācārya was there. Sārvabhauma Bhaṭṭācārya also was from Navadvip. And he was the greatest Māyāvādī philosopher, greatest Shankarite doctrine, exponent of Shankarite's doctrines. And he was so exalted, and he was patronized by the king of Orissa. And Sārvabhauma Bhaṭṭācārya saw this young sannyasi, and he wanted to check out like whether he was still alive. It seemed like there was no life in his body. And he put some cotton in front of his nose, and when he saw that the piece of cotton was moving softly, he could make out that he is still alive. And he could realize that this is the ecstatic symptoms, the highest ecstatic symptom, murcha or mrittu, fainting in ecstasy. He theoretically studied that, read that, but he'd never seen anyone display that kind of ecstatic symptoms. So he could recognize that he is a very exalted personality. And so he, with his students, help of the students and the temple attendants, he carried Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to his house. And in the meantime, Nityananda Prabhu and others came to Jagannātha Purī. And when they inquired about Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in the temple, they were told that yes, one young sannyasi came and he fainted, and Sārvabhauma Bhaṭṭācārya took him to his house. And while they were going to Sārvabhauma Bhaṭṭācārya's house, they met Gopinath Acharya. Gopinath Acharya also was from Navadvip. And he was also a great scholar and a brother-in-law of Sārvabhauma Bhaṭṭācārya. So they were very happy. Gopinath Acharya was very happy to see them. And then when he heard that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was there, he was excited. And he took them to Sārvabhauma Bhaṭṭācārya's house. Sārvabhauma Bhaṭṭācārya was his brother-in-law, so they had an intimate family relationship. And this is how they met Śrī Caitanya Mahaprabhu, still unconscious. And then when they started to chant the holy name, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu regained his consciousness. So this is how Chaitanya Mahaprabhu arrived in Jagannātha Purī. Now Sārvabhauma Bhaṭṭācārya was quite concerned about Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, that here is such a young sannyasi. He took sannyas at such a young age. And he is so handsome. And on top of everything, he is so emotional. He is not at all serious or grave. Like his activities are so apparently so sentimental. So Sārvabhauma Bhaṭṭācārya became very concerned that this boy may not be able to maintain his sannyas. And as I mentioned, like for a sannyasi to fall down was the worst thing that can happen to anybody. So Sārvabhauma Bhaṭṭācārya decided that he would teach him Vedānta. And in those days, the Vedānta actually meant Vedānta with Shankaracharya's commentary, Shankaracharya's impersonal commentary. And this is how he will become fixed up in his sannyas order, and he'll become grave and serious about his sannyas order. But Gopinath Acharya, when he heard that, he tried to point out that, this person is not an ordinary human being. He is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So on that ground, Sārvabhauma Bhaṭṭācārya and Gopinath Acharya started to have a very heavy arguments, debates. Sārvabhauma Bhaṭṭācārya was pointing out that the Lord doesn't appear in the age of Kali. He doesn't incarnate in the age of Kali. And Gopinath Acharya pointed out he does, but he comes hiding his identity. And then he also chastised Sārvabhauma Bhaṭṭācārya that you won't be able to recognize him, because without the mercy of the Lord, one cannot recognize the Lord. So you're unfortunate that you haven't received his mercy, therefore you are unable to recognize him. So this is how they used to have arguments. But when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu got to know that Sārvabhauma Bhaṭṭācārya wanted to teach Vedanta Sutra to him, so he accepted. He said, like, he's my well-wisher. He wants to teach me. That's wonderful. And so he accepted Sārvabhauma Bhaṭṭācārya's proposal that he would teach Vedanta Sutra. And then he started to teach. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu kept on listening there, sitting there. For 7 days, he listened to Sārvabhauma Bhaṭṭācārya's explanation of Vedanta Sutra, without even uttering a word, like whether yes or no, or no affirmative or negative expression came out from him. So then Sārvabhauma Bhaṭṭācārya became a little worried or concerned. And he asked Krishna Chaitanya, do you understand what I am saying? So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu responded by saying, I understand the sutras, the aphorisms, but I don't understand your explanation. Then Sārvabhauma Bhaṭṭācārya said that, well, that's very strange. The explanations are meant for clarifying the meaning of the aphorisms or sutras. And you say you understand the sutra, but you don't understand the explanation. What is this? What do you mean? Then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu pointed out to him that your explanation is not clarifying, but covering the meanings of the sutra. Just like the sutras are like brilliant as the sun, but your aphorism or your explanations are like cloud covering that sun. So Sārvabhauma Bhaṭṭācārya was shocked to hear that. Like he never expected that anyone could ever challenge, because he was quite elderly by the time. He was contemporary of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's father. And so, yeah, and here's this 24-year-old boy is telling him that his explanations are totally wrong. Instead of clarifying the meaning, it's covering the meaning. And so they had some sort of little debate. And then it came to explain, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu asked him to clarify the meaning of one verse from Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. And that verse was Ātmārāma munayo nirgranthapi urukrame kurvanti ahaitukeng bhakting itham bhuta gunapari. Ātmārāma, those who are deriving joy from within their soul, from the spirit soul, Atma, those who are content in their spiritual identity or in spirit soul. Those munayas, very, very exalted sages, very exalted saintly personalities, those who derive their joy from within. Like you see, materialistic people derive their joy from without, through their sense gratification. The senses try to gratify by exploiting the objects of the senses. That's the regular human being's condition. But the liberated soul are those who have completely withdrawn their senses from our external projection, and internally they are deriving their joy from their spiritual identity, spiritual ecstasy, spiritual bliss. So those saintly personalities, those who derive their joy from within, Ātmārāma munayo, nirgrantha, those who have become totally free from all bondage. Granthi means knot. The hearts have knots, various knots with which we are tied down to the material nature. But these personalities have become totally free from those knots of the hearts. Nirgranthapi, yet that means these liberated souls become engaged in loving devotional service to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Nirgranthapi urukrame kurvanti ahaitukeng bhaktim, render unconditional devotional service to Urikram, to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So Sārvabhauma Bhaṭṭācārya gave his explanation, but Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gave his explanations without touching Sārvabhauma Bhaṭṭācārya's explanations. And the bottom line of that verse actually was that you are saying that liberation is the ultimate goal. Then how come the liberated souls become engaged in devotional service? Therefore, devotional service to Krishna is higher than achieving liberation. And the goal of life is not to merge with the Lord, but the goal of life is to become surrendered to the Lord in devotional service. So in this way, Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu defeated Sārvabhauma Bhaṭṭācārya. And by defeating Sārvabhauma Bhaṭṭācārya, Caitanya Mahaprabhu established the principle of bhakti above mukti. So mukti is liberation, is desired, especially the Sajuja Mukti, merging in the bodily effulgence of the Lord, Brahma Jyoti. So they think that's the ultimate goal of life, Sajuja Mukti. Whereas the devotees, there are 4 other types of devotional or devotion-based liberation. They are Sarupya, Samipya, Salakya, and Shashti. But Diyamanam na grindhanti bina matsevanam jana. Even they are given that, even they are offered that, they do not want to accept it. So that is the supremacy of devotional service, because this rendering service to the Supreme Personality of Godhead is so joyful that even liberation becomes totally insignificant compared to that joy of devotion. And it is said, Mukti Mukulitanjali Shebate Asmin. Mukti, the personified liberation personified, Mukti Devi, with folded hands is appealing, begging to the devotees so that they can be engaged in their service. Liberation personified is begging for service to the devotees. So in this way, the Sārvabhauma Bhaṭṭācārya pointed out the superiority of the personal concept, personal aspect of Vedic understanding over impersonal aspect. Nirakar and Shakar, a formless aspect of the Supreme and the personal aspect of the Supreme in the form. When we go approach Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, this understanding becomes crystal clear. Like in Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, at least towards the beginning, in the 2nd canto, it has been pointed out, 11th shloka, that badanti tat tattvavidas tattvam jajgyanam advayam brahmeti paramatmeti bhagavaniti shabdati. Brahmeti, the tat badanti tat tattvavidas tattvam. Those tattvavid, those who are knower of the absolute truth, they speak about that absolute truth as Brahma, Paramatma, and Bhagavan. The same non-dual aspect, the same reality is described in 3 different ways: Brahma, Paramatma, and Bhagavan. And what is the understanding? The Brahma is the bodily effulgence of the Lord. Paramatma is his localized aspect in the hearts of living entities of the Lord, who is an expansion of the Lord. And the Lord himself, who is endowed with all 6 opulences, he is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Bhagavan. This understanding this has been also explained in Chaitanya Charitamrita while revealing the identity of Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu as Jadadvaitam Brahma Upanishadi Tadapashyatanubha. The Upanishad, the Brahman that is described in the Upanishad as the ultimate, that is his bodily effulgence. This personality is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's bodily effulgence, revealing the identity of Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu. Brahma Jyoti is his bodily effulgence. Jadadvaitam, Brahma Upanishadi. This Brahma is kind of described or the subject matter of Upanishad. All Upanishads are actually describing Brahma Jyoti. So that is Tadapashatanubha, his bodily effulgence. Jo Ātmārāma Purusho iti Shoashanshu Bhava. The super soul, Paramatma, who is situated in everyone's heart, is his expansion. Tadapash Ātmārāma Purusho iti Shoashanshu Bhava. His Bhava means his expansion. And Sharaisharja Purna Bhagavan Jasayam Ayam. The Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is endowed with 6 opulences to the absolute extent, he is himself. And that Bhagavan is non-different from him who is Krishna himself. And also it has been pointed out that 3 different approach reveal 3 different aspects. Through Jnana, speculative knowledge, when one achieves the ultimate perfection, then he sees him as Brahma Jyoti. The yogis who meditate upon the Lord, withdrawing his senses and projecting them internally through meditation, they see him as Paramatma. The Jnanis see him as Brahma Jyoti, yogis see him as Paramatma, and the devotees see him as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Through Jnana, he is revealed as Brahma Jyoti. Through yoga practice, when one achieves perfection, they see him as the super soul in the heart. And through pure devotional service, one gets to see him as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Bhagavan. And briefly, maybe I can just make another short point. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, when he was traveling to South India, he had an encounter with Tattvādis. Tattvādis are a branch of Madhva Sampradaya, Madhvacharya's followers. So when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had a discussion with them, first of all, they didn't want to, they were kind of not really taking him seriously. This sannyasi, what kind of a sannyasi? He is also not really very serious. So they had kind of a condescending attitude towards him at the beginning. But when they started to discuss, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu very humbly pointed out that, like, what is your goal? And they said that the goal of life, goal of our practice is to achieve Vaikuntha liberation. Then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu pointed out, if that is the goal, then why Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, it is saying, Diyamanang na grindhanti bina matsevanam jana. That if these liberations are given to them, these devotees do not want to accept it without my devotion, service, without the opportunity to serve me. Mat sevanam, seva means service. The devotees don't care for liberation, even Vaikuntha liberation. Their main objective is to have service. So this is how Chaitanya Mahaprabhu time and time again pointed out the supremacy of devotional service. He defeated the impersonalists. Even those who are kind of Vaishnavas, like had a little misconception, he actually corrected them by pointing out that the Vaishnava's goal is not liberation. The goal of a Vaishnava is to be engaged in devotional service to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So in this way, Sārvabhauma Bhaṭṭācārya, initially who was an impersonalist, who had a kind of a little negative attitude towards Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu, became one of the greatest follower of Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu. So that is the wonderful display of Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu's mercy through his teachings. Thank you all very much. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Gaur Premanande Hari. So does anybody have any question?
Hare Krishna Maharaj. Thank you very much, Maharaj. Maharaj, one question I have. Sārvabhauma Bhaṭṭācārya was a Māyāvādī, but how was he, having a leading position in Jagannāth temple? Like, why was he serving the Lord in the personal form?
Yeah. Well, the Māyāvādis also accept the form of the Lord, but the problem is they think that the form is temporary, but ultimately the form will disappear and Brahma Jyoti will become revealed. Okay? They accept the form. They are called Panchapashaks. They accept 5 forms. Form of Surya, Ganesh, Vishnu, Shiva, and Devi. But they think that these forms are imaginary. They are there because in order to meditate, you need a form. But when you achieve the perfection of your meditation, then you don't need any form. So it's a hodgepodge philosophy there. Hare Krishna.
Maharaj, we have a question from Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam.
From?
Hare Krishna Guru Maharaj, please accept my humble obeisances. Thank you so much for the wonderful class. I just had one question about you mentioned that Mahaprabhu has taken sannyas from Māyāvādī sannyasi. So I was wondering that in that time there are also other branches sannyasi, like for example Madhacharya line of sannyasi. So I was wondering why Mahaprabhu has taken sannyas from Māyāvādī sannyasi. Can you please share some light on that?
Actually, those days, sannyas was mainly Shankaracharya's line. They were all Madhvacharya also in that same line, right? Ishwar Puri also was in the same line. That was, sannyas was Dasnami. There were 10 different branches of sannyas that came from Shankaracharya. There was no other sannyasis as such. There was only Māyāvādī sannyasi. Later on, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur reintroduced the 3 Danda sannyas or Vaishnava sannyas. Okay.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna.
Maharaj, we have a question from Mohan Govinda Das Prabhu and Priti Mataji. Please go ahead.
Hare Krishna Maharaj, Dandavat Pranam, all glories to Srila Prabhupada and Gurudev. This is Mohan Govinda Das from Tobacco Congregation, New Jersey, Maharaj.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Wonderful class, Maharaj. So nice, and we are very fortunate to have your association virtually, and very nice to hear about the glories of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and in this Corona situation. Thank you so much for that, Maharaj. The question I have is, Maharaj, you are mentioning about Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Sārvabhauma Bhaṭṭācārya took Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to his house, and then the devotees of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu met Gopinath Acharya, and Gopinath Acharya said that to Sārvabhauma Bhaṭṭācārya that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So how did Gopinath Acharya got that mercy to know that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is the Supreme Personality?
Okay, yeah, good, very good question. Because Gopinath Acharya was in Navadvip. He knew Chaitanya Mahaprabhu from Navadvip, and that's how he knew that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And later on, he happened to come to Jagannātha Purī when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu arrived there. Okay.
Maharaj, we have Devan Sohini. Mataji, please go ahead and ask the question. You're on mute.
Yeah, Hari Bol Prabhuji. This is Devan and Nidhi Soni from New Jersey. Thank you so much. We are learning so much from you. Yesterday, I heard on the call you were mentioning that there is some qualification to read Bhagavatam. So just wanted to know, is there a qualification or we can read Bhagavatam anytime?
Well, You can always read Bhagavatam because so many Bhagavatams are distributed. Hundreds of millions of Bhagavatam have been distributed all over the world. One can read, but to qualify to understand Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, one needs to have that qualification. That is, you see, that's why Prabhupada actually gave the sequence order. Bhagavad Gita first, and then Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. And Bhagavatam also canto by canto, first to second, second to third. In progression, you just read. Because the spiritual topics, in order to understand them, need some basic qualification. Like, for example, why Bhagavad Gita first? Because in Bhagavad Gita, we understand that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. We understand that there is another reality beyond this material nature, the spiritual reality. And we all came from the spiritual world. And the goal of life is to surrender to Krishna. So when in this way, one surrenders unto Krishna, then one becomes qualified to understand Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. And Bhagavatam also has different aspects or different levels, that starting from creation, how the creation comes about, and how this creation is being maintained, what are different incarnations of the Lord, and so forth. So this is how the understanding actually develops. It's not, these are not the books that you can just take and start reading. These are the books or scriptures that are dealing with the spiritual subject matter. And they need, from the side of a reader, there's a need for some qualification, and there's a need for a qualified teacher to reveal the knowledge. So that's what we were talking about yesterday.
Guru Maharaj, we have Umesh and Virun Prabhu. Umesh Prabhu,
Yeah.
You're on mute, Prabhuji. Please go ahead and ask question.
Yeah.
And then we have,
Guru Maharaj.
Hare Krishna, Umesh, how are you?
Nice.
Hare.
So, Guru Maharaj, it is so comforting to see you live, and thank you for this wonderful nectarian lecture. I had one question, Guru Maharaj. What is the take of Māyāvādīs on Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam? Are they not reading Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam?
Generally, they don't touch it, because then they won't be able to, hold on to their misconception. But they won't be able to present their misconception. Māyāvādī Shankaracharya didn't touch Bhagavatam. He just gave his thing based on only Bhagavad Gita and Upanishads. Okay. Yeah, Umesh, I'm also happy to see you. I saw you yesterday also in the class. It's nice about this Zoom, like we can get to see everyone.
Yes.
So that makes it so personal also. Thank you.
okay, Maharaj. Maharaj, we have a few more questions. We'll take tomorrow then.
Sure.
We have Gita Kirti Mataji in the problem.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, Maharaj.
Okay.
Who is next question?
Oh, Gita Kirti Mataji is next, Maharaj.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Okay.
Hare Krishna, Guru Maharaj.
Gita Kirti.
Guru Maharaj, you mentioned Māyāvādī sannyasis have Ekadanda and devotee sannyasis have Tridanda. But please forgive me if this is a silly question. But I have seen many sannyasis in ISKCON also carry the Ekadanda. How do we connect that, Guru Maharaj?
It's wrapped in one danda, but inside, if you see, there are 4 dandas. Not even 3, there are 4. 4 dandas indicating body, mind, and word dedicated in service of the Lord.
And what is the major difference, Guru Maharaj, between a Māyāvādī?
Okay. Very good point. Yeah. The major difference is that Māyāvādī sannyasis, their goal is to merge into the absolute. Brahmajyoti. Become one with the Lord. Whereas the Vaishnava devotees, Vaishnava sannyasis' goal is to dedicate the body, mind, and words. Three danda, kai, man, and vakya. Body, mind, and words in the service of the Lord. All right. So that is a Vaishnava. The whole life is dedicated to use the body, the mind, and the speech in the service of the Lord. All right. Thank you.
Maharaj, Purnachandra Prabhu has
Yeah, sure.
more questions today.
Thank you very much for a wonderful lecture.
Haribol, Purnachandra.
Yes, through Mahaprabhu's travel from Mayapur to Jagannātha Purī. So Guru Maharaj wanted to understand a little more about who was keeping the details of Mahaprabhu's encounter and the details about, where Mahaprabhu went and who him met.
Can you say it a little louder?
Yes, Guru Maharaj. So Guru Maharaj wanted to just understand who was keeping the details of Mahaprabhu's encounters and Mahaprabhu's diary.
Who was keeping the encounter?
Yeah.
Okay, like you see, those who are with him,
Yes, Guru.
they later told. Say, for example, Nityananda Prabhu was there.
Yes.
So he and others, like Mukunda was there, and they narrated. Even the incident of Jharikhanda, there was Balabhadra Bhaṭṭācārya, who actually saw what happened, and he narrated that. And this is how those incidents have been recorded.
Okay. Thank you.
Hare Krishna. Any other question? Yeah. Rajagopal?
Hare Kṛṣṇa Maharaj. Yeah. We have Anika and Sureshwar Shyam Prabhu is also has a question. Suresh and Shyam Prabhu, you are on unmute.
Yeah, Hare Krishna Maharaj. Hare Krishna Maharaj. One request, Maharaj. In next few days, if possible, Maharaj, can you introduce us to few places around Navadvip and some pastimes that Mahaprabhu had, there.
Let me cover, as I said, like in these 4 days, I have decided to cover certain topic.
Okay.
Like it's based on the like this seminar or this thing is mainly for teachings of Lord Chaitanya, not Mahaprabhu's pastime so much, but in course of the teaching, I will also discuss the pastimes like I did today. But like this is for just the teachings.
Yeah, thank you very much, Maharaj.
Hare Krishna.
Maharaj, we have Jagadish Sinha Prabhu. Next, Prabhuji, you're on unmute.
Haribol.
Jagadish Sinha Prabhu, you have a question? You raised your hand.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Can you hear me, Prabhu?
You are on unmute. You can ask question to Maharaj.
Okay. Hare Krishna, Guru Maharaj, Dhanna Pranam, all glories Prabhupada. All glories to you, Guru Maharaj. Maharaj, I have a question like from your lecture, you mentioned the Māyāvādī. That time, all the sannyasis in Māyāvādī, like Ishvara Puri, Madhvendra Puri, the same line. So, like, how to take it like a Chaitanya Mahaprabhu followed that Māyāvādī mix up with Bhakti, or like just followed that the Māyāvādī? My first question. And second, Maharaj, like the Māyāvādī, they are trying to merge with the Brahma Jyoti, and the devotee try to serve Lord Śrī Caitanya personally. So, what the end result, like the Māyāvādī come back after merging the Brahma Jyoti, or like what the difference to understand the spiritual platform?
Yeah. Okay. Like as I said, like there are the sannyas those days was in the Sankaracharya's line. Like say there were 10 different titles for a sannyasi. Like Giri, Parvat, Aranya, Sagar, Puri. So Puri was one sannyasi title. See, Madhavendra Puri, Ishwar Puri. Now, although apparently they took sannyas in that order, but they were devotees. Like Madhavendra Puri, did you read Chaitanya Charitamrita? Madhavendra Puri going to Vrindavan. Krishna himself came to give him milk. Krishna appeared to him in a dream and requested him to rescue him. And that is Gopal, who is now being worshipped as Srinathji in Nathdwara. That was Krishna appeared to him. So you see, although they took sannyas in that line, but they were devotees. Madhavendra Puri was a great devotee of Krishna. Ishwar Puri was a great devotee of Krishna. And then actually it has been explained in Chaitanya Charitamrita that yes, the Mayavad aspect was prevalent at that time. But Madhavendra Puri is the first sprout of devotional creeper. Now, Bhakti Lata, Beej sprouted in Madhavendra Puri. Bhakti Lata Teho Pratham Ankur. Ankur means the seedling. Madhavendra Puri was like the seedling. Then the seedling grew into a bigger, gradually to a tree. And that tree was Ishwar Puri. And there are various branches, and the stem of that trunk is Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu. So this is how the through that impersonal influence, devotion to Krishna actually began to manifest. Okay, it's not that they were following impersonalism. They took sannyas in that order, but they were not impersonalists. They were devotees. Like Madhavendra Puri was the first one who actually started to reveal the devotion to Krishna. And then he had many disciples, like Advaita Acharya was his disciple, Paramananda Puri, then Brahmananda Bharati. So they're all his disciples.
Maharaj, do you have time for one more question, Maharaj, or you want to wrap up?
Yeah.
You have time for one more question, Maharaj?
Yeah, sure, go ahead. Yeah.
Govardhan Bhakta Prabhu, I'm unmuting you. You have a question, go ahead. You are on audio.
Hare Kṛṣṇa Maharaj, thank you for the wonderful class. You discussed about the perception of absolute reality in three different forms.
Can you switch on your camera? Like push the button, video button. Since we have the opportunity to see you.
Maharaj, I don't know, something wrong with this one.
Okay, go ahead.
I'm not able to do it. So you explained about the perception of absolute reality in three different ways: Brahmaiti, Paramatmaiti, Bhagavaniti. So the yogis, when they realize Paramatma realization, how they're going to see the Lord? They see 400 Narayana form. How? Because the Mayavadis, they see the light, and how the
the yogis see him as Paramatma in the core of the heart, and that form is four-armed. But a real yogi, after seeing the Paramatma, becomes a devotee. When he sees the Paramatma, he naturally surrenders unto him, and through the surrender, he becomes a devotee.
So when they see 409 form, that itself is Lord Krishna. So they are directly seeing Krishna. So that itself is like Bhagavan realization.
Yeah, Paramatma is not active.
Okay.
Right? He is not active, he's a witness.
Okay.
Right? But through devotion, the Lord becomes, like when you love him, he reciprocates that love. And that, inactive super soul then becomes Bhagavan.
Thank you, Maharaj. Thank you so much.
Hare Krishna. Gaur Premanande.
Maharaj, before we leave, I heard from Krishna Kishore Prabhu that there is some quiz that was conducted. Do you want to announce the results? It will encourage a lot of other devotees to also take part.
Yeah. So if you give me the result, then I can read it out. Okay. Yeah.
Maharaj, do you want to give a background to everyone? Not many might be aware of what that is. If you can.
Okay. So, you see, based on the class, a quiz is conducted. 25 questions are given based on the class, and anybody can participate. And we announce, now we can't offer you a gift besides our good wishes and appreciation, but I'll keep all the names of the winners, and someday when I meet you all, I'll give you the gift at that time. So, the names are, okay, the number of participants were 57. That's quite good for the first day. And there are one person in third position, Mukundar Priya Das and family, Surat, and Lalita Sakhi Dasi, Calcutta. So 2 in the third position. And they got 74% accuracy. Then in second position, also there are 2. Shraddha from Dubai and Shushmita Radhika from Ujjain and now in Bangalore. She's from Ujjain, but she's in Bangalore now. And they got for 78% accuracy in second position. And in the first position, the accuracy is 83%. Nilambari Radha Dasi, Bangalore. So thank you, Nilambari. Hare Krishna. So these are the few in that position. Hare Krishna, Gaur Premanande, Hari Hari. So thank you very much. I had a wonderful time today with all of you. And it is increasing my yearning to go back to America now. I'm just waiting when the flights will start and I want to go there. And one thing maybe I'll tell you, yesterday I mentioned that we are distributing prasad in Orlando area, and we are getting a wonderful response from there, from the hospitals, from the police stations, from the fire stations, from the sheriff's office. We are distributing now more than 100 plates of prasad every day. I'll tell you, we started with a little hesitation because we didn't know whether they will accept this prasad. So we started off with 10 pizza. So from 10 pizza, it went up to 50 pizzas. And then our limit is actually to make 50 pizzas. And so then we started to make fried rice or biryani. And we also started to make chow mein, Chinese noodles. So these are easy to make in large quantity. So we are doing something like 50 pizzas, 50 fried rice, and 50 boxes of chow mein. So about 150, and we hope to increase it to about 250 plates every day, from 150 to, see, about 2 weeks back, we started off with 10 pizzas, and now it has gone up to 150 plates. And next week, we are planning to kind of raise it up, at least up to 200 plates. And the thing that I want to do, I want to declare now in advance to you all. Now I'm thinking of starting the distribution of prasad in New Jersey area. So, and it's just a matter of, when I go there, we'll start it. And do you think it'll be a good idea?
Yes, Maharaj, thank you very much.
Madhupati Prabhu, yeah, I wanted to talk to you about that. So I'll phone you and I'll discuss with you in detail. Like, all we'll need is just to use the kitchen. Now, one thing, Madhupati Prabhu, is the kitchen licensed?
Yes, Maharaj.
Okay, good. That's what is needed. We need to have things prepared in licensed kitchen. And then, they will. And so, yeah, when I go back, I'm thinking of starting it there. And won't it be fun?
Yes.
Yeah. So that's why I'm saying, I'm just waiting when the flights will start, when India will open up, allowing flights to people to go out of India. And then I think America is open. America is. And Shumahan Gopal, I want to let you know, you see, they all are very, very safe and healthy and joyful. Actually, Suman Gopal's wife and children, Champaklata and Garima and Krishna, they got stranded in Ujjain. They came for Ayurvedic treatment, and then came the lockdown, and they got stuck here. But they're enjoying. The children are so happy here, and so is Champaklata.
Thank you, Maharaj. Yes, I know. They told me they're having a wonderful time there, and they are having a great blissful time in Ujjain.
You must be in anxiety, so I wanted to
relieve
you.
No, not at all, Maharaj. Not at all. I mean, they're in a wonderful place.
I can see Champaklata also there. Champak, you want to say something?
Mataji, you're on unmute. Mataji?
Yes, Guru Maharaj, thank you so much for giving us shelter at your lotus feet. This is a blessing. This is the biggest blessing in our life, that we are getting wonderful association of you. Kids are extremely happy. They cannot describe. They get to see you. They get to walk with you. They get your garland. They are extremely happy. I mean, we are under the shelter of Jagannath, Narsingh Dev, Radha Madan Mohan, Gaur-Nitai, Krishna Balram. We get to celebrate festival here with you. I mean, we don't have enough words to describe how much mercy have flown to us through you, and how much we are under the shelter of Krishna through you. And thank you so much. Please accept our gratitude from the bottom of our heart. Please accept, Guru Maharaj, that it's just difficult to describe, but we are extremely happy. Like, kids don't even have any idea what is the coronavirus, what is going on outside. And especially whole Ujjain community has been extremely wonderful. When Krishna was sick, Vijayamurti Prabhu was on his toes, Vyasdev Prabhu was on his toes, Rup Gaur Prabhu was coming in the room to check him. He had a fever for a little long time. So Ujjain community has been extremely wonderful and helpful. Like, I will be eternally grateful to the whole Ujjain community. Garima is learning harmonium here. She's learning Kartal. She's getting opportunity to sing with His Holiness Bhakti Prem Maharaj. We're getting deities darshan every day. So it's just that we cannot describe. It's just amazing. And seeing you, Guru Maharaj, getting your darshan, attending Guru Puja, it's just extremely blissful. I mean, cannot ask for more than anything in this life, Guru Maharaj. We would love to keep coming Ujjain again and again and again and again.
The favorite service of the children, packing the prasad for distribution.
Yes, yes, Guru Maharaj.
And
Yes.
yeah, Garima leads the 9 o'clock kirtan at night. She plays
Yes.
harmonium and she leads the kirtan that night. So
Yes,
they're
Guru Maharaj.
having a great time. Thank you, Champaklata Sakhi. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much, Guru Maharaj. Please accept our gratitude at your lotus feet. Please, thank you so much for giving us shelter. And even in
Thank you.
future, we would love to come to Ujjain. It just feel like home away from home. Better than home.
Sumohan Gopal would come over to Ujjain and you all settle down here.
Hopefully,
I
yes,
can say
Maharaj,
that
hopefully with your blessings, yes.
Ujjain is, and I can say Ujjain is a better place than Charlotte. I'm sorry, Atlanta. Ujjain is, you'll find it better than Atlanta, at least in winter. Okay, thank you all very much. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Oh, one more thing I just want to say. Prasannatma, are you there? Prasannatma had the baby. They got a baby.
Yes, Maharaj. Prasannatma Prabhu. I unmuted him.
Yeah. So Prasannatma, yeah, we want to see the baby. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much, Maharaj, for mercy. And you named her Radhe Dulari. And she's doing fine from day one onwards. She is hearing Hare Kṛṣṇa Mahamantra and Prabhupada's Kirtan 24/7. And now first time, this is the first class she is hearing directly from you.
Okay, Hare Krishna.
And we were thinking about this food donation, and we want to donate, for that also, Maharaj. Or contribute in any way possible.
Thank you very much. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna. All glories to Srila Prabhupada.
Hare Krishna.
And Rajagopal, thank you so much for organizing this Zoom conference.
Thank you, Maharaj. It was Krishna Kishore Prabhu who's helping me as well. Thank you so much. I'm coordinating with you.
Hare Krishna. So I look forward to seeing you all soon.
Okay.
Gaur Premanande, Hare Hare.
Hare Hare.